special OCS playoff. We got Chris Gogolin and I here bringing you commentary for the Ross versus Gem match, game number two. Say hi, Chris.
Hello, everybody.
So yeah, thanks for joining us this afternoon. They should be getting started here in the next few minutes. And we had a win by Ross in, what was it, plus 11, you said?
Yeah, Mike actually ran out of time and timed out,
Okay. Does that have
and
any
Ross.
impact? Does that change
It
how we should?
doesn't.
Okay.
We had to talk about it in the tournament committee for a couple minutes and figure it out. But ultimately, the only way it made sense was to give Ross credit for the full amount of cards he had left.
Right.
But he had dominant board position and everything anyway, so it was listening to them talk about the game. It seemed unlikely Mike was going to do any more damage anyway. Um, and Mike was just like, "No, it should be 11."
All right.
I lost by 11. So
Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us, CRG. If is there any audio issues, be able to hear both of us and everything, just let us know in case. Because this is my first time trying to do a two-man booth, so I think everything looks good though.
yeah, it should be good. It worked pretty well for us. The when we did the player selection,
Yeah.
uh, I'm loud compared to Queso. Well, I yell, so that's why.
Okay. I can also I have the desktop audio turned up as composed to my mic, so I'll turn that down just a little bit. So those are the kind of things I like to know. Because when I was doing my I
I
did
talked like
yeah I did some tests this morning and the desktop for me was quieter. So all right, looks like the game has started. Let's get loaded up here.
I talk like Samuel L. Jackson anyway, so So
All right, so it looks like Mike's playing Dark Side, and he's got Hunt down, and we've got Hitco for Ross.
that's not too surprising from either of these guys. They both tend to favor these types of mains type decks. Although we
That
do
isn't
see
is
Mike starting
interesting. Yeah,
the first order start here.
interesting starting interrupt from Hunt down. I haven't seen a build like this before.
I've seen one or two people using this start, getting the extra use pile searches with Snoke and Kylo. I'm not really so much playing the trooper part of it, but also just having that as your one-off ship, you could use the finalizer because that way you automatically have it in your opening hand and then can just kind of pressure them from there.
All right, yeah, I mean it is kind of neat. All right,
But
so Dark Side's gonna take the first turn here. I've seen a lot of these OCS games with Throne Room, so it's kind
yeah,
of
it is nice to see the other light side mains package for a little while here because
definitely.
yeah, I mean it was like throwing them for like 7 games in a row we had going on.
Well, that's what it was like at Worlds, so I'm used to it by now. So Ross does get a Rescue in the Clouds this starting hand.
Always that little lull here in the first turn with everybody, just pulling all their standard stuff.
Yeah, starting to get their grabbers out, and all right, now we see a deployment from Mike. He's got the opening hand. Van A is pretty good. Use that guy to
That's
defend Visage and pull the Vader's castle.
that's the best you can hope for with Hunt Down these days. It seems like he's the card you want in your opening hand, which is why so many people have gone to the 12 card version to try
Yeah,
and up the odds of getting them.
yeah, 12 card hand with two or three copies of him. So he did get the Vader's castle.
Yep. and that's another location that's pretty critical in this type of match because not only can you use it to pull Vader there, but then you can bounce Vader around, so you don't have to worry about committing Vader to the board early and getting him stuck somewhere.
Yeah, because then he can kind of teleport between that site and a battleground site.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to use the Vader's Castle text to go ahead and get the opening hand Vader. And with starting I am your father, he can get the lightsaber.
Yep. And then we watched an OCS game where there were, throwing reverse hunt down, where there were literally no battlegrounds on the table,
Yeah,
and Vader sat there at the castle with the saber just draining for one, like for half the game.
yeah, kind of crazy how the circumstances with decks not playing enough battlegrounds. And then gets the dark time to activate a force, so he will be able to move Vader to the Ewok village if he wants to this turn.
He could. I mean, he could have just bound out there,
Yeah, so he goes ahead and
which makes
moves.
sense. He's going to really wants to turn up the pressure. Losing the first game by 11, he really wants to force his opponent to make some bad choices. And with the big activation jump that he got between Van Eye and the castle, and having the prison in hand, and now to get Vader out first turn with Saber, and forcing his opponent to lose the Visage while him not, he can really start to lean on Ross a little bit and see if he can't get Ross to commit early and possibly lose that first battle.
Yeah, definitely. And also, you get an extra generation from the meditation chamber because Vader's on the table, right? So
That
yeah,
too.
yeah, he's got 11 activation
Mm-hmm.
compared to 6. So let's see if Ross got any activation pullers in his starting.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario for Ross, he can put Luke, pull Saber, and battle for free with the objective, and then it's just Vader, Lord Vader, who's defense value 8 against Jedi Luke's defense value 7, and coin flip with who hits who with the weapon swings.
Yeah, or whoever has their, blaster deflection or other kind of
Yep.
interrupts. So he does get the Boss Nash Chambers from his opening hand. So that's pretty good for Ross.
Yep. You got a docking bay
Yeah,
as well,
home
and
one DB. He's gonna go with the Luke.
he's going for broke.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because you gotta deal with that pressure that Hunt Down's gonna put on you.
Yep.
So hopefully he has some good destiny draws if he's planning to clear that Vader. And then Mike plays the weapons of a Sith shield so he doesn't get his lightsaber stolen. Might see
I would
Ross
expect
do
to
the
see
same
Ross
thing.
do this.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate blowout card in this type of matchup. So one guy losing the saber is pretty much backbreaking. So
Yeah, especially because these are probably the only characters that each deck runs that runs a matching saber.
yeah. But now the question becomes: Is does Ross battle, or does Ross just pass?
Yeah, that is a tough call. I think yeah, he is battling here. I think you kind of have to battle. And he has the
Oh,
Jedi's concentration. Okay, so maybe he's just going to try to, since he has higher immunity than Vader, he's going to try to just stick around.
right. That makes more sense. If he had a card like that, then obviously yes, you battle all day,
Yeah,
and now he'll just try and use the +1 to his destiny, plus being one power higher than Vader, and see if he can't just cause some overflow or get lucky with
drawing a
something that cracks it.
EPPO beef is not a good draw there, because that's going to make this battle probably just a wash. Yeah. So I mean, Gem is down by 2 force. I guess he does get credit for winning the battle, so that does cause, a total of three
Right.
force loss.
Yep. He stacks a card from hand, which is the starting interrupt that he no longer needs.
Yeah, I mean that card probably wasn't going to do much for him this game anyway.
No. And yeah, now he'll have to figure out where to peel to from, and then they'll both lose one to Visage. So
Yep, and then with Mike's five card hand, you got to wonder what sort of characters he might have to add to Vader for the counter beat.
yeah.
So he loses the Downtown Plaza from hand and the extra copy of Vinay from hand. So I guess that's interesting. Not wanting to save the Downtown Plaza in a game where there's probably not going to be a lot of battlegrounds played.
No, I think he's just banking on the fact that they're going to fight over the Ewok village
Yep.
for most of the game, and he doesn't want to give Ross a place to run to.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to wrap up Ross's turn. They lose one each to Visage here. And like I said, we'll see what. Ooh, Grand Moff Tarkin off the top. That's not a card you like to lose, but I'm sure he's probably got two
And
of
Ross
those.
loses,
Yeah,
and
Jin
Ross loses
Erso.
Jim.
Yeah, both
Yeah,
strong top decks there. I'd say that's probably about
but
even.
Mike, yeah, but Mike lost a bunch of cards from hand for his overflow and stuff, so he's down to 3 cards. So it's even
Yeah, three
less
cards in
likely he's
hand.
got anything.
Yeah, I mean, he could have. He's got all the force to work with, but if he's got a good character to join Vader, that'll definitely be interesting. So tries to take the finalizer into hand, but there is no finalizer.
I think he's just checking destinies at this point, seeing what he can find, whether or not he's got a shot at hitting Luke.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cards in your reserve deck, and at this point, like it's only the second turn or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So not not as easy to guarantee high draws this early. So what else does the Hitco deck run besides another docking bay for activation? Does it run the battle planes and then just the docking bays, or
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's usually taps out around 11 or 12 force. It'll have the battle planes and the Hoth docking bay still to hit the table, and then obviously prophecy can move
yeah,
if they
'cause,
ever
yeah,
get
the
to force drain.
prophecy does add another one. See, I'll admit I haven't played a ton of Hitco. I've played a Versid a few times, but I usually kind of prefer Throne Room over Hitco just because that's what I've been playing for a long time. Go with what you know.
They did not disable action timers too, so hopefully they looks like Mike's been thinking for a while about what to do. Hopefully, he doesn't think too long.
Yeah, we definitely had that issue in that first round with was it Spidey Guy versus Silver Glen, where they
Yeah,
were they were discussing a board question or whatever, and then it just timed out. I was like, oh boy, what do we do here? Ah, all right. So Mike's gonna pull Coward, and then he's just gonna draw. So he's not gonna deploy any characters, and he's not gonna battle Luke, but he's gonna hope to draw into maybe some battle interrupts that can
yeah,
help him if Ross. I mean, Ross is in a very similar position with just a four-card hand and only going to be able to activate like up to 10 force. Um,
right.
you
And,
know,
and that's the problem with both of them going so fast on turn one, is they neither of them really have anything for turn two.
yep. So he's going to
And
draw up to a 12-card hand and save three would be my guess. Yeah, not going to lose to
yeah,
Visage here.
yeah, and battling in that position, you can clear Luke, great, he's in a great position. But if Vader misses and gets cleared himself, then he gets force drained on top of it. Then light side reinforces, and then that's a hole
Yep.
that might be too big to dig out of. So I like this move and just drawing and just getting some stuff to work with, and you know
Yep.
try and extend the game a little bit.
We'll see if Ross wants to put any more pressure on since he's I guess he's the one who has the 11 card advantage, so he probably doesn't want to do anything that would be an unnecessary risk here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just gonna try and pull his docking bay, and then probably do the same thing. If he's got another character in these four cards, somebody like Padme would be a blowout. But
Padme
you
would be
know,
strong.
yeah. But even if he just had, Ray or anybody else who might help him out here, or another guy with a weapon like an EPP Obi, or
Oh wow, it is
oh,
Padme.
there,
So that's
that
pretty. That's a strong 4 card hand.
yeah, that's a complete blowout right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, but Mike, with his 12 card hand, presumably could have some defensive interrupts here. Maybe
He could,
at
and
least a
draw.
force field to make it so it's not a blowout or a gick.
Yeah, I have you now would be the one you would want the most right now.
I have you now would be pretty strong also, at least to get some destinies. So another Jedi's
Two,
concentration. Wow. That is a
talk
strong
about
4 card hand.
talk about loading up, man. Ross must have really put Mike on hunt down and just loaded up on all the anti-Vader cards you can think
Yeah.
of.
Cancels the game text of Vader and then adds a destiny to attrition. So, I mean, with the battle destiny and the destiny to attrition, there's a very good chance Vader's going to be off the table.
Ah, nice. Force
Okay.
push to exclude.
So that'll help. Does he still get the destiny to attrition since he already?
Well, the battle ends. Vader's excluded too.
Oh, that's right, because it excludes Vader. Right. So yeah,
Yeah.
since there's no other character for Darkseid. Okay, so that kind of ends the battle. So that's a good way to get out of that situation. I mean, Vader's game text is still canceled, which is not good for him. But
It's never the way you want to end up playing that card, but sometimes you really just have to use it that way to, get the hell out of Dodge.
yeah, you very rarely see it played that way. But maybe with Tarkin's bounty being so strong, you might see players saving it for that extra use.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. It's not what you want to do with it, but in a situation like this, it's really your only option to get out of this.
Right, and then now he's got a 10 card hand, and I'm sure he got at least like some characters or
Right.
you know ways to deal with this Ewok village. But I like this matchup so far, where we're just getting a lot of interaction, a lot of battles at this site.
Yeah, with him saving three cards, I was a little surprised seeing that he's played concentration twice already.
But he
That
didn't grab
that
it.
Mike didn't grab it. Yeah,
So yeah, what would be a card that he would be saving the grabber specifically for if he's not saving it for that one?
I mean usually it's blaster deflection, but
But
I think
concentration is kind of like a blaster deflection. So
exactly.
especially when you've
And
got Maul who likes to swing twice.
right, and the fact that he's used it twice already and has, so he's got two copies of it. It's a used five, so I was a little surprised to not see him grab it there. I mean he might be worried about, maybe like a Leia and some type of like leadership or something, or maybe he wants to save it for rescue, but he didn't grab rescue there either, which is the second time Ross has played that too.
Definitely, yeah. Be interesting to see what he does decide to grab. All right, so Russ is going to wrap up his turn here, and we'll see what Mike responds to the Ewok village with Padme there now. Do you think either of these decks runs a system for any space?
I've seen versions of the Hunt Down that do. They will run Jakku because they can find a way to pull it by putting certain guys at that Jakku site, kind of like the way the Bring Him Before Me deck kind of does.
Right,
Um, but I don't think in this, when Mike didn't pull Finalizer, that tells me he's probably not playing it, which means that he's not playing the system to go with it.
right. So this is probably, besides the battle planes, probably all the sites that we'll see in this game. Looks like Ross did lose a Ray off the top from the visage damage. That could be pretty tough.
Yeah, just going down to what characters did Mike have in his hand, and what else does he have to work with?
Yep. He's gonna get
That's what I
us.
was really wondering whether or not he had.
So we can try to sniper Luke, or would you just
He
go
can
for
snip for
Padme?
Luke. Personally, I'd go after Padme.
Yeah, there he goes for Padme.
It's the option that has the least things that can go wrong,
Although drawing that six makes you really think you should have gone for Luke.
and
But
he's going to draw one.
there you go. So yeah, I mean, like I said, getting rid of Padme, getting Vader his game text and his immunity back is just as big as getting rid of Luke in this particular
Right.
situation.
Right. You get your game text back. So now you got the immunity. You get the extra +1 to each weapon destiny. When you do swing at Luke later, he doesn't
And
have the blaster deflection to cancel it. Loses
and
a fourth father.
and then also he's able to get rid of that destiny to attrition that Padme was going to add also. So just
Absolutely.
yeah,
And now
win.
he's got 13 force. It's the bigger win,
Yeah,
you know.
and now like somebody like Maul or Dooku or Boba Fett, Bounty Hunter, Tarkin, any of those would be good characters to join Vader.
Yeah. Even like an EPP Mara, just to have an extra character,
Yeah,
for some forfeit or whatnot.
yeah.
But
Surely he's got somebody in that 8 card hand.
it's probably a bunch of emperors which you can't deploy.
Yeah, so yeah, that's. Well, now he's got at least one that he drew for Weapon Destiny.
No Sith Fury, because otherwise he would have redrawn Snoke into something better, and
Yeah.
then he could have deployed something and used pile pull.
All right.
So
Kyrkanos is pretty good too. Can use his game text to cancel annoying interrupts. He
yeah,
tries to upload the other Royal Guard with Kyrkanos, but wasn't in the reserve deck. Those Royal Guards have seen a
cancel
lot
them.
of play. I like those cards. They're
Yeah, they're
strong.
they're pretty solid cards. They don't do a lot by themselves, but their other text makes up for that. So when something like this happens,
All right, so now we're getting a Clash of Sabers from Ross on Vader.
which he could have canceled. Oh, it's only a battle.
Which cancels it? Is it Vader's game text that cancels it?
Well, Kyrkios can cancel the ones
Oh
per
yeah,
game. That's only while in
Kyrkanos.
battle.
Yeah, that's right. So that's why you do that outside of battle. So
Yep.
now he's got Dr. Evazan and Kyrkanos, but not having Vader in this. Okay, there's Kylo, so he could still go for a battle here with those 3
Yep.
characters.
And he'll get a use pile pull from Kylo, and he's got 15 cards in there to choose from. Probably take Snoke, so he's got another character, whatnot. But then again, he might have, something other battle interrupt. He's got plenty to choose from
Yeah, it
there.
could be
So
a force field or something similar.
oh, that's gonna do it.
Wow.
Got the blind draw on sevens.
Yeah, I mean, Hunt Down does run a lot of high destiny cards, so Luke getting
I'm
hit
sure
is
people
pretty
are
tough.
wondering what do you do here? What do you just
Do you just operate or do you go for the overflow?
I operate personally. I would clear that site and just have a pile of dudes and just say the Ewok village is mine.
Yeah, I think I operate as well. I mean, who's to say that Ross doesn't have a Hoojix in hand, which would completely make you just have to lose, possibly 2 characters if Ross draws high enough. So
Right. And it could be all three because I mean Luke's going to swing and hit Doctor E.
So yeah, he
And then,
operates. Yeah,
yeah, then he could easily draw a 5 or a 6 and end up clearing Kylo by himself because Vader would be excluded again.
yeah.
So,
So he just goes for killing Luke, putting the pressure on, and
excuse me.
just no, you're fine. Yeah, so that's the safer play. He's got a huge stack of characters at that site, like you said, and
Yeah,
the onus is on Ross to try to crack that nut now that he's got
right. That's the
four
thing.
four characters, two lightsabers, Doctor Evazon. So
He's got the strongest characters. He's got a drain of 2 that he can set up for it. He's got Visage that's going to be doing some damage to Ross. It's going to be on Ross to find another battleground to go to if he wants to do any damage. Coward's out, so he can't even go to the
right,
non-battlegrounds.
I kind of have a feeling that Ross has the battle planes in hand, just because we haven't seen him pull it yet or whatever. But I'm not sure. That's just a guess on my part.
I mean, we haven't seen any Wisas at all played yet.
That's true.
He
So
might
yeah,
just he might have just whiffed them all.
that is quite possible.
Yep, he's just going right to draw. He's got nothing right now,
Yeah, I
so
mean he
he's
only
just gonna
had
load
like
up and
four cards at hand, so
yeah. Now he's gonna start looking for answers, and it's gonna start getting expensive to look for those answers when he's losing basically 4 force every cycle.
yeah, and we know he already
Uncontested.
lost his undercover spy to that could have maybe helped in this situation. So there's the Wisa. So maybe he's going to use that to pull the battle planes and set up next turn.
He missed.
Oh, that sucks. But I guess at least he knows it's in
It's
his
a,
force. He can just draw to it.
right now he's got to dig for it, and he's got
Yeah.
to hope it's not
Last
the
card.
last card.
That's when Ray comes in handy and she can draw you that last card.
Yeah, I guess it'd be even worse if it is the bottom card and you got the 13, and the mic was like Monarch.
Yeah. Blowout for sure.
But I would be surprised if we saw a Monarch in Profundity's deck.
Yeah, I think I'm also there with you. Typically only see that in decks these days that start Crush the Rebellion. You see the combo Monarch played in those decks. But
You know, 14 people watching. Nice. Thanks, guys.
15 on my end is what it says, but who knows?
You're probably
Yeah.
counting me.
Oh, that's true. I think I'm probably in there too. Well, I'm probably just in there as the PC account, since that's what I'm logged in as.
Yeah. Oh, he drew them all.
Oh wow, so maybe it was the last card. Oh boy, so we'll see. That's tough. So now when Mike drains at the Ewok village, he'll move the prophecy card, right?
Yes.
So then that'll be a drain of 3 for the next cycle. And Ross is still only generating 10 a turn, which is tough.
Yeah, that's typically how this kind of game goes. Usually it's, whoever gets that first foothold and then doesn't give it up.
Yeah, and that's even though Vader can't battle. I guess he can battle during Ross's turn, right? Because the end of
It was the
yeah, I always forget how you are beaten in Clashwork. So it's the end of your next turn is what it says, right?
correct, which
Okay.
was the turn that just passed. So
Yeah.
Vader should be clear now. Yep, Vader's all clear.
Lost a Leia from hand and an evac control from hand.
And now Prophecy does move, which at least gives Ross one more force. Now he's up to 11, but I mean, that's half of his reserve deck at this point.
Yeah, and so Emperor goes to the Holo Theater to make sure that Ross doesn't get any funny Jar Jar Binks corn horn ideas. And then just is going to
Yep.
draw a couple cards. It also increases Mike's force generation by deploying the
Yep.
Emperor with the one icon from the Emperor and one from the Meditation Chamber.
Yeah. Profundity's in a good spot here to really dictate the pace of this game, and it's going to be up to RLMD to do something drastic to get back in the next turn or two. Otherwise, this one's going to be over.
Yeah, because even with an 11 card advantage, Visage is just going to bleed Ross dry if he can't do something, get another battlegrounds where he can start draining, force Mike to go after him, get both players losing to Visage has got to be something that Ross wants to do. Or cancel it outright. I have been running more out of commission cards in my light side decks these days because Hunt Down does seem to be very popular as a dark side choice with
Yeah,
AOBS out of the meta as much.
yeah, and it's never really a dead card because you've got other targets with Phantom Menace or the Kylo effect, Spectre, the Supreme Leader.
Yeah, or Image of the Dark Lord, or just okay. So we are going to see a Jar Jar Binks shenanigans even
Uh,
with the Emperor there. Wonder if we'll see a Force Lightning from Mike to prevent any extra characters getting deployed. Yeah, he's gonna pull the Force Lightning, but he doesn't. That won't give him the opportunity to play it before Ross puts another character there.
well, the only character that would make sense would be an EPP.
Yeah, EPP Obi would be a good one, or Ahsoka Tano or somebody like that. But yeah, here's Obi.
Yeah, I don't think you can play Ahsoka. She's a Padawan, right? You can't play any
Oh,
Padawans in Hitco.
you can play Anakin, can't you, in Hiko? Or no?
No,
Okay.
nope.
See that it shows
No
my
Anakin,
inexperience.
no.
Shows my
Yeah, no
inexperience.
Anakin, no Qui Gon.
You can't play
Just
any
kind of screwed.
Padawans at all. You can't play Kanan.
I don't believe so.
Oh man, bummer.
Nope, you can't play Episode One Padawans.
Well,
So
Kanan's
yeah,
a rebel, so I don't know if he has an episode one icon. You might be able to play Kanan. There's not too many episode one rebels, as far as I know. So we got Obi Wan and Solo.
the unfortunate part though is that even if Us is successful and clears this site and cancels Visage, he still can't drain there because the
No, because
coward.
yeah, Coward's out, and yeah, that's not a site that would move Prophecy of the Force, right? If he drains there,
No, nope.
yeah, so that's not a battleground. So yeah, and he does kind of squander a few characters over there, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, if he's hoping for some battle damage overflow kind of thing, like if Jar Jar takes out Vane and then Obi hits the Emperor.
So now Ross is saying in chat that he can't fight there. Um, is it
Oh,
because
because Hunt Down
of the hunt
slipped.
down?
Yep.
Yeah, since he's doesn't have a Jedi at a battleground. So yeah, I guess if he just wouldn't have deployed Obi-Wan,
Right.
because you could only not battle where you have a Jedi or a Skywalker.
Right.
So that kind of that was a mistake for sure from Ross. Even he admitted it in the chat. I know if you're watching on Twitch, the webcam is blocking the chat. It was the only way for me to get it on screen with both of us on there. And even still, it kind of blocks out a little bit of it. I can probably try to move that a little bit down. Yeah, but that kind of makes it kind of small.
Yeah.
That works a little better.
Yeah. So So now Ross's only option is going to be to get Luke to a battleground, and then he can flip the
Of which
objective, and then
there
he
is
can
one
battle.
battleground on the table. Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
So either he needs the battle planes and needs to put Luke at it, or he's not running the battle planes and it's just using the village. In which case, then Luke has to go suicide himself in front of those guys,
Yeah.
just so he can try to then kill the
Yeah.
Emperor.
Luke and a Hujix just to do the other play over there. Ugh. Not what you want to do.
Now Ross is in deep trouble here. This is getting out of control pretty quick for him.
Yeah.
If this was a live tournament, this is where you just scoop and go get lunch.
Right. Right. But I mean, this being match play, it would be more like scoop and then watch the top four. But
Yeah. The winner of this game will be playing a rebel spy in the next round.
a rebel spy. Is he watching on Twitch?
Probably.
Um, and then the
He
other one
lurks.
is the other matchup is Justin matchup, right?
Yeah, Silver Glen All Stars. Yeah.
I predict Justin will win that match. Going out on a limb.
Took a shot at a Force Lightning, lost on
Plays
solo.
the Sith Fury to redraw the Maul, and then he's gonna draw Lord Vader. All right. So that's a miss on the Force Lightning. So now I might have to commit a character like a Mara Jade or something to.
He could throw that Maul that he just took in a hand down and just try
Oh
and
yeah, Maul.
he
Yeah.
could battle. He could battle Ross. He doesn't need to, but I guess he could. What else is he gonna do?
Yeah. So do we ever get a replay of the first game of this one?
We did not. I was
Okay.
trying to get a replay link from both of them. Mike was talking about he was going to do his own little video stream of it, and
Okay.
of course didn't do it, and then didn't send us the link either. So I'm sure after this game's over, we'll get a replay link from one of them, and then we can do a replay stream just for
Posterity's sake.
so everybody's games are all up there.
Yeah. And here comes the Maul, the aforementioned Maul.
And yes, a rebel spy is lurking in the chat, so he is
Such a lurker.
watching this game.
So, I mean, with the Emperor not having his immunity to attrition because of playing the Force Lightning, I don't know if I would battle necessarily since Ross can't battle until he figures out a way to flip Huntdown back. Not sure how to play this turn, but especially you wouldn't want to accidentally lose the Emperor if he got hit by a lightsaber or something.
Yeah, Mike doesn't necessarily need to battle here. He's got himself in a pretty good spot now with Maul there too. That he could just kind of pass, draw a couple cards, and call it a day.
He plays the useless gesture shield. The watch your step shield normally is where that one gets pulled, but that will prevent Solo from, or at least he'll have to pay +1 force and stack any interrupt that he wants to play from Lost Pile.
All
There,
right, so he is going. He is going to battle. He's definitely going to battle now. He's put 59 and pulling that shield. He's definitely going to battle.
because yeah, he didn't want Ross to be able to use Solo's game text since he has no force saved to play an interrupt from Lost Pile. Not sure what interrupt he was necessarily thinking about. Maybe a Jedi's concentration or goes for the swing on Solo with Maul's saber the first swing.